The mighty Morgan Stanley, the legend himself, the humility itself, the man that breaks for nobody, not even himself.
Jussi from Helsinki in Finland sent me a mail. He wrote, "Hi Morten, I'm a young, soon-to-be audiophile trying to assemble a great system for my 5x6 meter large living room. I got around 20,000 euro to burn on my dream right now. What should I prioritize to get the best possible sound for the money?" Well, Jussi and we had an online session lasting a couple of hours where I saw the space and got a feel for the room. So I'm cheating here with the answer that in short was your room. The answer surprised Jussi quite a bit as he was mostly considering how to be able to afford the Nordost speaker cables his reseller said was absolutely necessary. Problematic acoustics is the single most frequent thing I encounter when being consulted about liberating sound and picture in domestic homes. And more so, the idea of doing something about it will require hanging loads of ugly panels everywhere, making your living room look like some heavy band's rehearsal room, right? That's really a misconception that keeps so many audiophiles from achieving improvements to their sound that far surpasses any other improvement. Taking a room from bad to great with very little effort and impact to the decor is possible in many smart ways, and more often than not, it even creates an opportunity space for other improvements too.
All right. And here it comes. When you make the reverberation time measurement, you need an impulse, and this is a perfect impulse when you pop a balloon. This is some protection of my ears, and this is a pencil just for the popping. Basically, it's a Stone Age, and I will use not only one balloon because the reverberation time is always different in different positions. So when I pop one balloon, I will do that in a corner, because in the corner there's a maximum of all standing waves. So that will be the place where I pop the balloons. And then I will move the microphone to different positions and a different height, just to include as much as possible in the room. Right. So normally in standard rooms that will be at least 3 positions, but normally 5 positions. If it's bigger rooms, maybe they are so big so you cannot use balloons because they don't have enough energy. But basically this works for most rooms of listening room size.
What are the sound pressure level coming from a balloon when you pop it?
It's around 120 dB at 1 meter distance.
Wow.
It's not the peak itself you're measuring the decay after the impulse has stopped. So what is coming back to the microphone, that's basically the thing that we're going to measure, the decay time. Reverberation time.
The most underappreciated benefit of primary acoustic enhancements is the huge impact on daily life. Hard rooms and bad acoustics is tough on the brain, and that has to work overtime to decode and filter the many reflections to make sense of the sound. Getting excessive reverb times under control greatly reduces the power of the early reflections when listening to a sound system. But imagine what it will also do for conversations with multiple people, screaming kids, barking dogs, just watching TV, and the feeling of calmness in the room. Yes, this is where everybody else in the household also discovers what they have been missing. Noise and excessive reverberation is really fatiguing. Yet it's often not even considered by many audiophiles, sometimes gladly spending insane sums on things like power cables instead, too microscopic or no improvement other than maybe the placebo effect. This living room, cinema, studio room here is actually a very good showcase on how primary acoustics can be done. Here we ended up treating only the back wall and the entire ceiling of the room, that in combination with rearranged lighting and new acoustic curtains created a change so big that we still beat ourselves over not having done it much sooner. As you can hear, it's very lively in the room without anything. The result is a new room that not only meets EBU standards, but also are completely free from any weird panel products on walls other than the decorative ones right here. That is in high fashion these years anyway. Maybe that's good news for audiophiles. The resulting sound improvements are amazing focus, calmness, intimacy, and especially the sound definition of the home cinema's top channels was a mess previously due to the floor ceiling bounce. Listening positions are liberated much more, being able to move as far as you want away from the hi-fi setup without any problematic reflections dominating. See some of my early videos to see how that problem had to be overcome. At the same time, and not expected to this degree, we got better bass control, even though the primary improvements was not targeting bass as such. If you want to learn much more about how sound improvement can be gained from acoustic treatments, my American reviewer colleague Ron Brenay on the New Record Day channel did a fantastic little series called the Soundshed series. It will be 5 videos in total with great sound examples and measurements before and after, really showcasing the before and afters of his great listening room built from scratch in a shed.
This is the sound of my voice, front and center, from the listening position.
I linked to the playlist collecting all those videos, and you can also find the series in the Stjernholm Reviews recommended playlist on the channel playlist page. Go check it out. It might be just the inspiration you need for your domestic sound. Get consulted.
Please do help me with my rucksack.
Oh yeah, sure, why not?